When did you stop believing what you read and just assume it's manipulated? You read one article, then another says the opposite. You open X, and half the people say it's propaganda. The other half say they are. At some point, you got tired of being so confused, so manipulated, so jacked around, you stopped trying to figure out who was true. You stopped wasting your time. You stopped listening and just moved on. But the shift didn't start online. It started in the room. It's in culture, business, government, media, online. Simple things like scheduling a dental appointment has become a chance to upsell something with a sales script. The old world wasn't dominated like this. You had room to breathe. Managers performing loyalty to the team while filing reports that buried the people underneath them. Colleagues saying, "Great work," in the meeting and something very different in the hallway. Media, celebrities, respected leaders, respected friends. Nobody says exactly what they think. Everyone says what they think will work, regurgitating some strategic line or practice they learned at some class or from some online guru. And after a while, you realize something. The system isn't rewarding honesty. It's rewarding performance. It's rewarding lies and manipulation. It's rewarding a sales script. So now in the new world, appearing trustworthy has become more valuable than being trustworthy. And people, rational people, adapted. You want to get ahead? Learn to perform. You want to stay safe? Learn to gatekeep. You want to survive? Learn to say one thing and do another. The fake coworker isn't a villain. They're a product. A person shaped by a system that quietly punishes honesty and rewards appearances. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Then you look back out at the world and you realize it's the same pattern. Every press conference, every carefully worded statement, every promise designed to say something without actually saying anything. It's not always a direct lie. It's the gap. The consistent, reliable, never-closing gap between what's said and what actually happens, what's promised and what gets delivered, what's reported and what gets admitted later. I remember telling my wife one night, "I'm not even sure any of this is true, and I'm not going to spend hours trying to figure it out either." That was it. No breaking point, no big moment, just a quiet Tuesday where verifying reality had become more than I was willing to give. And then the technology showed up and made it worse. A video looks real, sounds real. A public figure saying something outrageous. It spreads everywhere. And then 12 hours later, it turns out it never happened. AI-generated content, synthetic media, fake accounts, algorithms that learned the fastest way to keep you scrolling was to make you angry or afraid. We built the most powerful information systems in human history, and we use them to make truth harder to find. Think about that. More cameras than ever, more microphones, more data, everything documented, everything searchable, everything on the record forever, and less trust than any generation in human history. That's not a coincidence. That's what happens when you optimize a system for engagement instead of truth. 1,000 versions of every story, 1,000 experts contradicting each other, 1,000 fact-checkers being fact-checked. And somewhere in all of that, the average person made a quiet, rational decision. I don't have time for this. So what happens next? People pull back. They retreat into smaller circles. People they actually know. People they actually trust. Because the larger system has become too expensive to navigate honestly. People stop voting, not because they don't care, because they don't believe it matters. People stop reading the news, not because they're ignorant, because they're exhausted. People stop believing the expert, the report, the headline, the scientist, and that CDC doctor. And into that vacuum, something rushes in. Whoever is loudest, whoever confirms what you already feel, whoever tells you the version of reality that costs the least to believe. Not because people are stupid, because trust is a resource, and ours ran out. I think that's what actually happened. Not one big betrayal, not one moment where everything broke, just everything started following a script. The politician's answer, the corporate apology, the coworker's feedback, the news anchor's outrage, even the way we argue with each other online. It all sounds the same now. And when everything is scripted, you stop looking for the real thing because you stop believing it exists. And when everyone and everything starts doing this, what does it mean? What kind of society will emerge from all this? I, for one, miss the old world.